Welcome back to On Football. Today's review is going to be on the Nike Alpha Pro 2 TD football cleats. These cleats come in a TD version, which are these studs here, as well as a D version, which is going to be the detachable. So if you don't know the differences or what they're used for, check out my blog, ikfblog.com, and look at the article about cleats. But anyway, this is the TD version. I like TD because you can use it on turf as well as grass. It's really used for short, firm ground. You can see I've got a little grass turf here sticking out because I practiced in these, played some flag football in them to give you guys a review. But I'm going to go over the initial details of the shoe, some of it I covered in the unboxing, and then of course I'm going to talk about the traction, the fit, the durability, ventilation, cushioning, and the weight of this cleat. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Let's take a closer look at this shoe. This is the Alpha Pro 2. You can see it still says Alpha here, and then across the heel counter it still says Alpha. I got this in the silver platinum volt colorway. As you can see, you guys probably saw my Instagram pics from the unboxing and see how raw these are even at night. But the big new thing on this cleat is actually the material. The entire upper is made of Nike skin. Nike skin I covered off in some of my other reviews, but this is more of a hyperfused material, and on the inside it's still thick with the padding at the heel for your Achilles and throughout the shoe. So there's no internal booty. Again, this is built very similar to the original Alpha Pros. The upper is going to be different. You still got the fly wire that's going to give you that lockdown fit. A newer design on the tongue here, and then different laces. So these laces, which I'll get into the review, are actually a little bit thicker, but they do a good job of staying in the fly wire and staying through the holes to kind of keep your foot tight. Now if you look at the bottom of the cleat, these are the exact same studs and bottom as the original Alpha cleats. They have, instead of having blades, they've got the 4 studs at the back, and then they've got the normal studs up front. Now if you compare this to the Vapor Untouchables, you're gonna notice a clear difference, especially with the outsole where you don't have the carbon. So the inside is gonna be a Phylon midsole, or the midsole is gonna be a Phylon material, thicker in the back to give you some of that good cushioning and thinner up front. So now let's get into some of the details, and we're gonna start with the traction. Because it is the same plate, I did rate this an 8 out of 10, which is about the same as the other cleats. So it's not going to be as good as the Untouchables in my opinion, but this is still going to be a phenomenal cleat if you play on both grass and turf. Just make sure that you're playing on shorter ground. If you're playing in mud or something like that, you're going to want a detachable cleat. But again, it's got an 8 out of 10 for traction. Now this is going to be a little bit of a heavier cleat. Some of you guys in my unboxing complained that this cleat was heavy. So again, this is not going to be like the Added Zero cleats where those are super light. Even the Vapor Untouchables, it's not going to be as light as those cleats. But something I always say is weight isn't everything. It's definitely a part of it. But these are not going to be nearly as light as even the Vapor Untouchables just because of the material that it's made of. But it is a solid shoe. But overall weight, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Coming up right behind weight is actually going to be the fit. The fit is going to be very important for a shoe. If the fit is really good, as well as the cushioning system rebounds it, you know you're not going to feel like you're wearing heavy shoes. But the fit of the shoe is excellent. The fly wire helps out with that. Obviously, shoes with fly wire are going to give you that more lockdown feel. You can compare these kind of to the Vapor Speeds in terms of the level of cleat and the price point, but the Vapor Speeds don't have fly wire. So fly wire is going to keep your foot much more locked down, and because of that, it got a 9 out of 10 for the fit. This is true to size. Your toe goes right up to the toe box. There's zero space, and with the fly wire, you got the lockdown. So 9 out of 10 for fit. Now looking at the Nike skin material, you don't see any type of ventilation or breathability or any holes in here. None of it's mesh. You can see the little dots, but none of it's mesh. It's more, again, like a hyperfuse. Now, if you look at the tongue, there's also not a lot of breathability. You don't see the holes here. Now, this is surprising because I would expect this cleat to get super hot. Even looking at the inside, you don't see any like overlays, or you don't see where it might, you know, any visibility to the outside, which suggests that this cleat gets super hot. I was amazed because my feet didn't get hot at all, and I was wearing extra thick socks. But because of that, the breathability or ventilation, I rated pretty high for something like this, and I rated an 8 out of 10. It's not going to be as breathable again as the Untouchables because that's going to be more of a vapor knit material, or fly knit material. But the Nike skin is pretty good, breathes pretty well. 8 out of 10. The cushioning on the shoe is something that I really like, something to rave about. Something on the Vapor cleats. The Vapor, you know, are more speed cleats, more for purely skill players, are going to have very little cushioning. It's very thin, so you can really get that ground feel. so you can really, be faster and lower to the ground. Now this cleat is pretty cool because in the back, just like the original Alphas, it's going to be a little bit of thicker sole. That's going to give you more cushioning for your heel, and it's going to be thinner up front. That's going to give you more ground feel. It's going to make you feel faster. So the cushioning for this was a 9 out of 10. It's good right out of the box. There was 0 break-in, which I really like in a cleat. Again, the Phylon does its job. It's more of a supportive system though. It's not going to rebound as much energy as something with the carbon or something in the Vapor Untouchable. So just know that going in. If you want to play comfortably, this is going to be a good shoe for you. Gave this a 9 out of 10. The last rating that I give is durability, and you guys had interesting comments again on my unboxing. I didn't feel the same. Some of you guys said like things were coming off, falling apart. I'm not sure if you got a first batch or not, but because this is almost a one-piece upper, you see that this entire piece of the shoe seems to be one piece. Now when you get to this side, you can see that there is some stitching here, but that's going to mean the shoe is pretty durable because there's no place for it to rip, tear, bust, open. The only thing is the plate where there's an opportunity, and you can see like the quality of it. There's no glue spilling out. It seems solid. There's no wearing these, you can see with the Nike Skin that there's no break in the toe. So a lot of the cleats that you see, like the Vapor Untouchables, the Vapor Talons, you start playing this cleat and you see it crease up. This one still looks fresh, new, right out of the box, and that's what I like. So durability, gave it a 9 out of 10. Now this is a really good cleat for the price point. The price point is around $100 to $110. It's by far the best Nike cleats that you're going to get at this price. So the Vapor Speeds are about the same price. I would definitely get these over the Vapor Speeds for all the reasons I talked about in the video. The colors that it comes in are, you can check different websites. All the different retailers are going to have different colors, but there's so many, some to match every one of your team. I got this colorway because I really like it. Really like the way the Volt looks at night, which is where I play most of my games. So who would I recommend this cleat for? This cleat is actually an all position cleat. It comes in a 3/4 height, which is going to be a little bit higher. This is the low because I like low cleats. It gives me more mobility. But again, the low, the TD is going to be for grass or turf. The lows are going to be more for all of your skill players, some of your linebackers, running backs, receivers, quarterbacks, DBs, safeties. Your 3/4 are going to be for those same positions, can wear 3/4, as well as your linemen, depending on what level of football you play in. But again, this is a solid cleat. Definitely recommend it, so check it out. If you like my review, remember to give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.